Moravsky Kras, my home crag, offers tons of hard routes. I've put up 21 8C pluses and harder, 15 9As and harder, 5 9A pluses and harder. None of them had been repeated until we've seen a major foreign visit by Will Bosi. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Ready to climb in the world's best crag?
Definitely. One of the reasons I wanted to go is because I didn't really know that much about it. Not many people have been from abroad, and it's there's not that much information online. So it was kind of seeing what was there, but all my expectations were blown. Like, the area is so much bigger than I expected. The climbing is so much better than I was thinking it might be. The holds, the rock, it all was like actually really good. And I know, like, Adam's always joking, I was like, oh, it's almost world class, but I do think it is up there as, you know, some of the routes and some of the problems are up there as being world class.
For the first interview that I did for Czech Climbing magazine, when I was 9 years old, I was asked about Moravský Kras, and I actually said, I don't like it. And why? Because it's ugly.
It's ugly.
And it's the statement I will always regret.
Yeah, I think
to call Moravský Kras ugly area, it's just disgrace.
Yeah, I think the crags look amazing. And then the fact that, like, there's so many cool caves around, the scenery is pretty good.
Yeah.
And for sure the climbing does feel a bit reachy at times, but I think the moves are actually amazing. It's not like, you know, if you go to Margalef, you just get a line of pockets and you climb them. Whereas here it's, you know, there's slopers, there's weird drop knees, there's toe hooks, heel hooks, like there's so much 3D climbing going on, even though it's not that steep.
Will stayed for more than a month in Czech Republic and making day trips to Moravský Kras. He spent quite a lot of time on some of the boulders. I wasn't that surprised that he was very strong in our boulder problems, because that's a kind of climbing style that he's quite familiar back from UK, because there is quite a lot of this polished zero friction limestone, apart from being quite technical. It's really fingery, and Will has incredibly strong fingers. So he just sieged through many of the 8C boulders. It was really impressive to see.
Nice!
That was so close! Perfect.
I was especially fond of seeing him on getting some of my routes, because most of the boulder problems were already repeated. Martin Stráník repeated or himself established some of the hardest boulders in Moravský Kras. But the routes, and some of them I think they are literally amazing, and most of them has never even been tried. And I've always found it as a bit of a pity.
Okay, stay there.
So Will is actually trying one of my first ascents, Perla Východu. It's a 9A that I first ascended when I was 14 years old. I was incredibly proud about this route. since 2007, so for the last 15 years it wasn't repeated. I would be super psyched if Will made the first repetition.
Come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, you can do it. Yes. Come on.
Hand over the jug and just no power.
The interesting thing is that back then in 2007, I was 14 years old. When I put up the first ascent, I only gave it 8C+, mostly because I always thought that, you know, the grading here in Moravsky Kras must be really tough, and most of the gradings are pretty tough. And back then the hardest route in Moravsky Kras was only 8C, and I thought I just can't skip a grade, so that's why I was not confident enough to call it a 9A. I didn't really believe that he had a chance on his next try. He looked quite tired, but somehow made it through the lower part. He got to the final knee bar and he continued.
Oh, nice. Oh, come on. Really good. Nice, come on.
I could just feel the hand slipping, and I thought about matching. I was like, no, just quit.
Nice.
The route's just so good. It's a hard route to do though. You have to put a lot of effort in, and even though Adam did it when he was 14, I still think it's ridiculously hard to only be 9A. I think Adam's done like crazy job in Moravian Karst, and I feel like he's put up so many hard routes and hard boulders, but especially on the routes, like even just HCs, which are, you know, all of them remain kind of unrepeated. I definitely think other climbers, especially like other top climbers, should come and try some of Adam's routes here. I think they're worth trying, and it'd be super cool to see how other people get on with them, and hopefully, you know, these routes can get upgraded and I don't feel so weak.
But I sat down immediately and typed you a long email like
I think,
whatever is available.
I think that was like the longest email I've ever had. Like, I was like, oh my god, there's so much information. It's so good.